Howdy. Brady here, founder of A Stand in the Park. So do a big shout out to all you freedom lovers and truth fighters all over the world, particularly everyone who's stood in a park or continues to. Massive credit. True warriors. History will look at you kindly. Thank you on behalf of myself and everyone else and future generations. It's got a bit of a stand announcement. I usually start these stand announcements with the disclaimer that I do not profess to be the leader of A Stand in the Park, never have. Stand in the Park has no leaders, from the top of the founder right down to the Stand in the Park in the local park near you. Very important. And it was like that since before I even stood in a park. When I started Stand in the Park, I said, I'm going to go and stand in the park for my personal truth, because all of our personal truths are different. We're all different. We grew up differently. We have different morals, different upbringings, different cultural backgrounds, different religions. We've all got different personal truths. I'm going to stand in the park for my personal truth and my freedom. Sister says hi, by the way. If you want to stand for your truth and your freedom, I'll be in the park. We'll stand together. Linear. Very important. If you don't know what a stand in the park is, we stand in local parks all over the world from 10 to 11 a.m. on Sundays. I'll give you a little bit of a history of Stand in the Park, brief one before I make an announcement. And I urge you to stick with me. If you're a stander or not, or if you're just a freedom lover, just stick with me. It's very important. Even if you don't like my eyebrows or my silly hair or whatever we don't like each other for, just stick with us. So I started Stand in the Park in August 2020, right in the middle of the middle of the beginning of all of that COVID nonsense. I had an idea. I was for a stand. Not so much for a protest. It's going to be a stand. It was going to be in local parks rather than one big protest in the middle of all the cities where the forces, the whatever, could direct their resources at. Was going to be no leaders, no agenda, no religion, so that there could be no divide. It's going to be 10 to 11 a.m. every Sunday, so that there was no organisers and there was no organisation. And we'd know where to find each other if the internet went down or the shit hit the fan. We'd wear yellow in unity. There was a whole heap of ideas in this idea that just came to me. So I decided I was going to make a stand in the park in Sydney, Hyde Park, Australia. In very early September 2020 it was. So I went and stood in that park for nearly 3 months. Every Sunday I'd trudge into that park and I'd stand there, and no one came apart from my good friend Andrea. Nobody came for nearly 3 months. And there's funny footage back then from me standing in the park doing these videos. I'd never done a video like this before in my life, before I stand in the park. And there was videos of me saying, we're all standing here for freedom, we're all standing here for truth, we're standing here for the elderly and our kids. And there was no one else there. It was just me. I just didn't look like the dickhead standing in the park by myself. But I stuck with it. And we're going to go into a bit more of the history and the ethos behind a stand in the park on 7 o'clock PM English time, London time, 8 o'clock in the morning, I think it is, in Sydney time on Saturday morning, Friday night, London time. Me and FiFi are going to talk a bit more about the whole thing behind it. But eventually 2 people came down. Russ and Damo came down, and then a guy named Tim came down, and a few more people came down, and then a few more people, and then another one started, and another one started, and then there was about 50, and they were in Canada, and they were in New Zealand, and then FiFi, the legend, started UK, and it just exploded over there. There was about 800 in the UK. It just went nuts. It was a brilliant thing, and at its prime, there was about nearly 1,500 in 40 countries. Brilliant thing, and it's done so much good. A stand in the park looks unassuming, and it looks simple, but it's done so much good. And there's so many people who will watch this, and who if you ask them who'd been to a stand in the park, would attest to that. It's brought so many people together. So many initiatives have started from a stand in the park. So many friends have been made. It's saved so many lives. The simplicity of just standing in the park dressed in yellow, maintaining that line in the sand with the energetic pinpoints of everybody that move their bodies. It's so powerful. It looks so simple, but it's so powerful. And it's just as much, it's just as valid and just as much as important now as ever. There's about 30 started in the last month or so, 20 in the US and 7 in Canada, and there's 3 more starting in Australia this week. So it's definitely valid. It hasn't lost any momentum at all. It seems to be, there's around about 1,000 now in about 30 countries, but it's impossible to track. Impossible to track. We don't know, and it's immeasurable as how much good it's done, but still just as important as ever. And I think you'll agree, there's a lot of people waking up to the lies and deceit of the world leaders right now, and we all know how lonely that can be and how confronting it be. So where do you go? We've been wishing, those of us who woke up ages ago said, I wish just everybody would wake up. Well, they're waking up. It's great news. It's a brilliant thing, but where are they going to go? A stand in the park is the first port of call. It's non-threatening. It's accessible. It's there's no leaders, no agenda, so it's a safe space. We need to maintain these safe spaces. We need to maintain support networks, and we need to maintain a physical presence for so many different reasons. So a stand in the park is a brilliant thing in its simplicity. Brilliant thing. And so many initiatives have started from a stand in the park. A stand in the park never tried to do anything. I never led it. I never put the name behind anything. I said, go to a stand in the park, join together and take initiatives from there. And so many people have. And so it's kind of been difficult to run because of the ethos and because of the collective nature of it, and because there's no financial sort of system or structure behind it, no admin as such. It's been impossible to track. Volunteers have come and gone. FiFi came along in the first 6 months. She's still soldiering on like a legend. Many people have come and gone. There's no volunteers right now. I fully fund the whole thing unless someone buys a silly T-shirt. I fully fund the whole thing. It costs me about $600 a month by the time I faff around, probably more. And there's no marketing budget. There's no marketing technique. It's just been organic. And the only thing that's really kept Stand in the Park going and the word out there is my silly videos that I do. Well, they're not silly, but just me just talking everybody's truth. That's the only thing we've got, which is extremely difficult when you've been under the censorship that we've been under for the last 5 years, let alone even now. This is probably the worst censorship I've been under for the last 5 years right now, which makes you wonder why. When you look at what I'm saying in my videos, I'm making fun of people. I'm saying that we're going to win this. They censor me for saying that, but they let the reins out for people who are propelling truth. But anyway, it's been bad the whole time. The first UK Stand in the Park group had nearly 100,000 members before it was taken down. We're now at UK number 5. They've cancelled 5 different Stand in the Park groups UK. There's 4,000 people on that. There's been 4,000 for about 3 years. A Stand in the Park, the main page that you're watching now, is about 120,000 followers. That hasn't moved in 3 years. There's a total cap on it. There's a massive shadow ban. You can't. A lot of people don't see it. They just don't put it on the feeds. There's comments being removed. There's likes being removed. You can't share it. When you do share it, it doesn't get any extra coverage. It's not grown at all. So it's pretty difficult. There's a lot of some people have some expectation around what a Stand in the Park should be and could do and everything, but it's not that easy. We're doing our best over here, and we need your support. And it's only really just me and my vids and Feast and her vids. And so it's important, and so for all of the above reasons, it's important that we continue to come together. Very, very important from the simple side of things, for just a sea of yellow in parks every Sunday. Kids are driving past us. Who are all those? Who are all those people in yellow? Like, oh, that's the resistance, darling. Right through to the support networks I mentioned, right through to the energetic pinpoints of people moving their bodies and drawing a line in the sand, through to the energy exchanges. We cannot continue to post online. It doesn't do enough on multiple reasons. We need support networks. And if you understand what an energetic war is, let alone a spiritual war is, you understand the importance of that and the importance of how important it is for it to be a safe space. No agenda, no leaders, no religion, no divide. It's a safe space where you can come down. The stuff happens in a Stand in the Park. A Stand in the Park doesn't do anything. It's like, what do I call it? It's like the Seinfeld. It's a show about nothing. It's the protest about nothing. It's the aero bar. It's the bubbles of nothing that make it really something. It was never designed to do anything. It was designed to empower people. And if it wasn't that safe space, then it wouldn't have taken off. There's a reason it was so big, and it still is. It's because it works. It really does work. It empowers, it unites, it strengthens, and the action gets taken from there. So I've had a few issues over the past. A couple of main ones. One is that a lot of Stand in the Parks were started when we had the propeller of lockdowns and mandates, and a whole heap of shit was hitting the fan. So people started to stand in the parks, and some of them have been abandoned since then, which is fair enough. We've all got lives, and I can't judge. It would be nice if you told us if you'd have abandoned it so that we could take it off the list, because a lot of people have gone down to a Stand in the Park and not been able to find anyone. There's been a couple of reasons for that as well. Sometimes there's a whole group of people down there, but you're not wearing yellow. You got to wear yellow. And other times there's been multiple people looking for the stand, and they've been walking past each other, but they had no idea. Also not wearing yellow, but if you're new down there, you can't blame you for that. A lot of people also don't like 10 in the morning on a Sunday. Fair enough if that doesn't suit, but you've got to understand how difficult it is, not only to manage for us. We cannot put 2 p.m. except on Fridays when Jenny's going to host a barbecue in her backyard down by the river, except in autumn when we just can't do it. We don't have the resources, and it's a freaking nightmare. So it's 10 to 11 a.m. but we understand. And another one is a lot of people are just sort of not worn out, but every week for a stand in the park over 5 years. It's a lot, and so we've decided to make one simple change, not to the foundation, not to the fundamentals, but we're going to move it back to the first Sunday of every month. That'll reignite a whole heap of people. That will give it a real carnival atmosphere, because everybody will go down on that particular day. If you still meet every Sunday, that's fine. Make sure you're there on that Sunday, and then tell everybody we're actually here every week. And if you want to change the time, that's fine as well. Just go on that first Sunday. So the first one's going to be the 2nd of February. Go down there on the first Sunday of the month, and then everybody who comes down, you can say, actually, we meet more often than this. We do it at 2 p.m. We do it in a cafe. It's really going to solve all of the issues and concentrate, and then expand. So we don't want to control anything you do. It's only a simplicity. It's the simplicity of Stand in the Park that's worked. We want to keep that. So every first Sunday of the month, 10 to 11 a.m. in all the parks that are listed. If you haven't been to a Stand in the Park for ages, go down there. 2nd of Feb, just like the old days. If you've never been, here's your chance. Go down there. There's going to be people there. If you've founded a park and you haven't been down there, then go back down there. Let's just really get a wedge in. A Stand in the Park works. Nobody knows what to do. We got completely blindsided by the level of evil and the head start that these people had with the COVID stuff, and we've only just caught up with ourselves and grouped. It's not like regrouped, we've just grouped, and we are winning this, and people are waking up in droves. Stand in the Park works. We need to maintain a presence. We need to be there for each other. So go down there. I can't market the whole thing. There's only so much that FiFs and everybody and anybody else that's ever volunteered that can do. It needs you. You need to own something that works and make it yours. Now you want to hit for home runs. I know that we should sack them all, but if we sack them all, and who are these angelic politicians that are going to fill all these places? I know that you want someone to come along and fix everything, but home runs are hard to hit. And so in the meantime, while we're waiting for these home runs, what are you going to do? Just go down there once a month to a Stand in the Park, show your face, show some leadership. Leadership is two things. Leadership leads others back to themselves, and you're leading by example. And so Stand in the Park leads you and others back to yourselves, and you're standing by example. If you've got the guts to show your face and draw the line and be there in the park, every Stand in the Park, then that's leading by example. People are watching you, and that's leadership. You don't need to start a worldwide movie. You don't need to do videos. You don't need to run for president. You don't even need to necessarily lead anyone. You just have to stand in your truth. You have to do it. You have to move your body. Just do something. It's the 14th of January. There's only 25 more fortnights, and then it'll be New Year's Eve again. Time flies. Do something. You can see spinning your wheels online. A lot of people staying online and getting revved up and thinking you're doing something by knowing what's going on. You're kind of not. You're better off knowing none of that and moving your body once a month and doing something than none of that at all. There's people being maimed and dying and dead and catastrophes and disasters, and it's going to get worse, unfortunately, before it gets better. And it does get better. You know, if you've watched any of my videos, it does get better. And unfortunately, or fortunately, a Stand in the Park has only just started. There'll be hundreds of thousands of stands in the park one day, fortunately or unfortunately. And so get a crowbar into this one. Let's get everyone back down there. Let's make everybody feel welcome. That's waking up. Let's give them a place to go and help with the marketing. Take photos, post it on your community groups, post it on your country groups. Send us an email with a story. Like, you got to help us out here. We're doing our best, but it's up to you as well. We can't shoulder the whole thing. Stand tall and proud. Stand tall and proud. Show your face, show your body, and stay in humour and stay in joy, because this joy needs grounding. There's a whole heap of shit taking place, but this is a freaking great thing what's happening right now. It had to happen like this. Look at the connection. Look at the eyes that are being opened. It needs to stand on the ground. Spinning your wheels in online, it's not enough. You have to have a physical energy exchange. This is the Great Awakening. You got the front seats. You're going to go down in history. You've got to do something. Just do this one simple thing. I guarantee that you'll get the returns from it. Not that that's the point, but if you go down to a Stand in the Park with 100% personal responsibility and don't take any of your BS down there and don't expect anyone there to save you, it will change your life like it's changed for so many people, and you will go down in history. So don't be afraid. Be empowered. It's our time. And see you on Friday. I'll do another post and I'll put it in the comments here, but FiFi and I will be having a bit of a slower chat about the history of Stand in the Park. Friday night London time, Saturday morning Australian time. Sister says hi, love your bones, ciao.